Hi, and welcome to a Penji video on compound truth statements involving and. You've already been exposed to using or, and now we're going to look at some use cases for using and. So thanks for helping Pam. As you might remember, she had a lot of fish, wasn't hungry, so she found a place in the island to place all of her fish in an assignment that you just recently did that looked like this, right? Pam dropped all the fish here. And, the idea was that she would come back tomorrow or the next day as soon as she was hungry and go back for those fish. Unfortunately, over the course of the next day, it was very windy, and unbeknownst to Pam during this whole time, the fish were flying away left and right, leading to a map that looks like this. So only a few fish remained, and they were the ones that were protected on both sides. So after Pam learned about this dilemma, she wanted to find a better place, a new place in the island that would be protected on both sides, where she could put a lot of fish down and not worry about the wind like she would have to hear there. So she found a place in the island that looks just like this. And by the way, this is the next assignment that you're going to do as soon as this video is over. And what she wants to do is only place fish in the first 7 spots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? These are the places where the wind will not be able to blow the fish away. And, that raises the question of what our loop condition should be so that we only drop a fish when there's a cube on the left and also on the right. You might be thinking we can use an or, right? If you remember, an or is true when both conditions are true, right? We looked at some truth tables. And one of the times that an or statement is true is when the left and the right is true. So let's try our or statement, see what this would look like. All right, cube left or right. You can see so far so good. Unfortunately, though, as the program goes on, this does become problematic because the thing about an or statement is it is true when both conditions are true, right? For the first 7, cube left, cube right, true, 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 true. However, it is also true when right is true and left is false. So remember, the thing about an or statement or a condition involving an or is that only one of the two conditions has to be true for the whole statement to be true. And that's the problem that we get into towards the bottom here. We do not want to waste these fish. Pam knows if she puts these fish down here, they could get blown away and not be there for the future time when she's hungry. And what we need to do is replace or with and. And we're going to talk about why that works. But first, let's run the code and see that it actually does work. All right, here's the step-by-step of using this code. All right, so far it's just like the or, but here's where things are going to get different. And is cube left, this side is false. Is cube right, true. Here was the difference between an and an or statement. And for an and statement to be true, both of the conditions must be true. It's pretty simple. It's a little more simple than the or statement. It's just both have to be true or the entire statement is false, right? And that was the situation we arrived at here. Is cube left is false. Remember, left and right are based on the way that the penguin is facing, and the penguin's left is on this side, and the penguin's right is on that side. So Penji, in this case I call the penguin Penji, Penji.is cube left false, is cube right true. And ultimately, we can just see from how the code worked that the entire statement is false. Whereas throughout the penguin's journey here, is cube left, is cube right are both true, true, true. And that's why the entire statement is true and why Penji continues to drop and waddle, because for a and condition, both must be true for the entire statement to be true. So let's take a moment and look at some common gotchas. Let's look at this. We have Pam who's going to start here, and I want Pam to be journeying downwards, dropping and waddling. What will happen if we run the program below? Do you see the syntax error? I'll give you a few seconds, and I'll give you a hint in a second or two. And the hint is that the error is on line 2. And I'll give you a final hint in a second or two. Not only is it in line 2, but it is towards the end of line 2. And it involves what is here. You cannot forget to write Pam dot, right? Otherwise, Python doesn't know who you're talking about, right? You could have more than one penguin. You could have Pam and Tim. So in that case, we'll be talking about Pam or Tim. And that is one way to realize that you have to write which penguin you're talking about here. Just because you wrote Pam here doesn't mean that Python knows that you mean Pam on the right, so you have to repeat whatever your penguin is. And so that is it for AND statements in Python. Just as a final summary, remember for a compound statement, remember a compound statement has more than one conditions, and this compound statement is cube left is cube right. For an AND compound statement, both conditions must be true for the whole statement to be true. If one of them is false, it doesn't matter which one, it's false. So the only way that it's true is if every single thing is true. It's a little more straightforward than the OR. And you are going to use this in your next assignment. Good luck.